You are now listening to the Cheatcoders podcast with Nats and Raf.
Hey yo, it's Nathan here.
It is Raf. Welcome to another episode of the Cheatcoders podcast, where we talk shit and talk shit and talk shit. Maybe we should stop swearing.
Yeah.
Maybe that way we could get more sponsors, you know? Even though we don't have
You know what
any.
I've been doing to help me? I only did it once, but I got my vlog thing happening. Every time I swear, I try to replace the words with a duck noise, and it sort of disciplines myself to not swear, because it's like, oh crap, I gotta edit this out more.
Okay. All right, let's try not to swear, just to I don't know. I think we get a more wider audience that way, so we don't have to put explicit content all the time.
Yeah. I think I swear too much, man. Even on like social media, when I look back at my stories, especially when I have a big night, every second word is a swear word. I'm like, what? Why do I talk like this kind of thing? It just becomes a habit. It's a disgusting habit to have. Honestly, I really don't like it. Like, it doesn't sound good, you know. Because, like, you know...
It's like a completely different persona when you with the boys. You just start swearing about everything. You don't even notice it. But if you record yourself... because we've been recording ourselves through podcasts, we just notice how much we've been swearing.
So much. It's not good. It's not a good look. Especially, like, you know, if you portray yourself in public that way. Not everyone's going to take it the same kind of thing, you know? It's like,
Definitely. So this is like episode 35. So after 35 episodes, we're going to make a pact to not swear.
I'll try to. It's, you know, habit takes...
We'll see how we go.
What is it? A habit takes about 30 days to form or something. I don't know. Some crap. Crap's not a swear word.
Some crap. Yeah, no, but it's a good. It's the vape of swearing.
Fudge.
Gateway to stop swearing.
Fudge.
Fudge. Crap.
Buttocks.
You're such a buttocks.
Bollocks.
But like, yeah. Bollocks. Yeah, you're in England, so.
Yeah. Oh, bollocks.
Suits you.
I don't know.
Tuna. Whatever.
Shrimp in the barbie.
I'm just gonna.
Sorry. Okay, that's
shrimp
it.
in a barbie. All right, I'm just gonna have like a 5-second binge of swearing just to let it all out. It's kind of like binging and drinking. So fuck, shit, bitch, ass, hole, tits, dick. All right.
You got it. It's out. Out of your system.
Now it's out of the way. Out of the way.
Okay.
Out of my system. No more swearing from now on. I promise.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Cool. And if anyone catches me swearing, like in the audience, just put it down in the comments and just be like, you know, just put a duck sound.
Give
or
us
something.
A number at the end. We can make it a competition.
Yeah,
like at the end, if you guess how many times you swear, it's already been won. Actually, no, you just had that whole rant, that whole thing. Okay, well, if you can guess how many times we've already sworn, because I guarantee you now we're not going to swear for the rest of this video, you get a shout out. That's it. That's our only prize.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna try and make it the whole podcast, like as in like just like eliminate swearing out of it. We've become more mature in the way we present ourselves in podcasts.
All right, me too.
Let's just ditch the swearing part. Yeah.
Better etiquette. You know what? I had no topic today, dude. I'm like I told you before when we just started the Skype convo. I'm getting sick. I get this energy when I'm talking to people though, but like generally I feel crud. What kind of topics do you want to talk about today?
Well, let's talk about, you just came from Portugal, bro. It's as if you have nothing to say after that.
Yeah.
You have 3 days in Portugal in another country, completely different culture. Is there any takeaways you got from it when you know, since you're back from it? Just fresh. Did you just came back in I don't know, like 12 hours ago?
Yeah, no, literally I came back not even that. Probably like 5 hours ago.
Oh shit.
This guy.
That was my I'm trying to censor.
I was like, what? It's like there's Dracula in the building or something. Count Dracula. All right, you know what? I'll talk about it here. I don't like, just because like I feel like I over spam sometimes. So like if people are watching, it's like, oh, here he goes again. But you know what? Who cares? Like, this is our podcast. Like how it came about. I'm in and out of jobs. So the contract of my last job ended last Friday. So I was like, oh, crikey. Sorry. I'm like, oh, crikey. I'm out of a job. And then like I feel like, oh man, am I gonna get a job soon? And like that was the long weekend. So all my housemates, they all had trips. The people that I've just started meeting, all of them had like plans already. And I'm like mad FOMO, right? I'm like, oh man, I'm in London, which is still awesome. So I figured like I'll do all my London stuff now while I'm here and I'm free and I got the weekend. But then I was like, I got to do something. And I figured I'm out of a job. I might as well just book something during the weekdays because it's dirt cheap, dude. I literally booked it on the Friday and I left on Tuesday. So like 3 or 4 days. I didn't really have an itinerary. I didn't know what I was going to do. I literally sort of did a rundown itinerary when my flatmates came back because they've been before and they told me, yeah, you got to check this out, got to do this, got to do day trip here. I'm like, done. Did a quick plan, but really the rest of it was just winging it. And when I got there, because the trip was booked in, like, compared to Iceland, I researched to the T. It was still badly planned, but I kind of knew what to expect because, I've been Googling for a while. I've been like, yeah, I want to do this. I even booked activities. This was blank. I just went there and I was like, holy smokes, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, fudge, man. This is freaking fantastic. Like, I was like, it's another world. Like, this is my first real proper Euro experience, I guess. Because, a lot of people go to the typical places like France, Germany, Italy, Spain. Portugal's not very popular in that sense, but it's starting to get popular. And I made the decision because I met someone last week on the Friday as well that I decided to book it. Oh no, Thursday or something.
Yeah.
And he's Portugal. And I told him, hey mate, look, I'm thinking of either going somewhere else, I can't remember the other country, or Lisbon, Portugal. What do you think? And he's like, and he sold it to me. I'm like, oh cool. So it's a great place, man. It's all contained. I had proper.
How big is the country?
How big is it? I've only explored the capital and another county, I think, another area after. There's so much more to see. Like, I was thinking of going to another part, like up north. It's a couple hours away.
Yeah.
But you could do like, I'm pretty sure you could do most of Portugal in a week, but I'm probably not going to go back for a while. Like, I've ticked off the main place.
What language do they speak? Do they speak like Spanish? Or... sorry, just excuse my ignorance. Well,
it's Portugal. Like, they have their own language. Portuguese language. It's similar, I guess, to Spanish, but it's not quite. It's dude. It was like I said, it's my first like proper Euro-ish experience, like seeing those kind of buildings and stuff. Because all I've done is America. Like, I've only done really commercial stuff, like America and a lot of the nature stuff as well, like hikes. But seeing castles and all that stuff, I noticed I binge. I've got an addictive personality. Iceland was all about the waterfalls. Where's the next waterfall? Bigger waterfalls. Oh my god, waterfalls. This one I'm just like, castles. Bigger castle, gothic castle, medieval castles. And I just went all out with the castles. I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway, I didn't get injured. That's another thing. First actual country I've been to and I didn't end up in the hospital, which was amazing. And there was so many times I could have. Like, there's, like, if you check my display picture, if you have me on social media, there's a display picture with castles. I'm walking around freely with a gimbal, like walking upstairs. I'm looking back at the footage and I'm like, dude, that's actually pretty dangerous. Like, yeah, it's a decent sized footpath where two people can walk, but off those walls is literally a straight drop. Like a good 10, 20 meters sometimes. Like, you could break your leg. Some of them you could die. And I was like, was I just so tired that my fear mechanism just disappeared? And I'm just running up these walls with a gimbal. And I'm like not even focused sometimes. I'm just looking at the gimbal when I'm doing the footage part. It's pretty silly. I could have died. I'm like, dude, that looks pretty dangerous, like looking at some of it. But yeah, overall, it's a great place, man. Like, highly recommend it. It's one of those places people don't... It's starting to get popular again, just like how Iceland before wasn't popular and now it is. Because I talked to a lot of locals there and they're like, yeah, the tourism just started really booming 2-3 years ago. I'm like, oh, it's cool. Nice stuff. But yeah, that's I guess how it happens here. Like, my flatmate, he booked... I came back... I was coming back yesterday and then he's like, yeah, I'm going to Barcelona tomorrow. I'm like, what? Just casually. So it's like, it's very easy. It's like going to Melbourne or something. Which I already knew, but
it's so close.
It's like, I already knew that. Yeah, I already knew that, the concept of that, because like my housemate, he went to Italy for a day trip, and I'm like, it just didn't commute to me. Like, I didn't get it. Like, isn't that a waste? But now that I'm sort of here and actually booking the stuff, I'm like, I get it. Yeah, that's cool. And there's no rush. Like I said, you know, like for us in Australia, if we go to a country, we want to tick off everything in one go. Like when I was in America, I'm like,
Yeah.
I have to do all of East, or all West Coast. So we did a full road trip. Whereas here, you could go to just one city, because you can always go back, kind of thing. Like, yeah, Portugal, this part,
Yeah.
I'll do the one next time. It's just, yeah, it's easy. It's cool, yeah. I can't remember where I'm going to next, but yeah, we'll see.
Just ticking
ticking
the
it off.
countries one by
Well,
one.
now that
It's kind of like how Don it's like when Don's mentioned that he can go to Bali or he
That's
can go
gone.
to all the Asian
and it's
countries
cheap,
within
like it's nothing, and that'll be
Yeah,
so
super
cheap for him
cheap.
too.
And
Yeah, it's pretty much like that. It
Yeah.
makes a big difference being like close to it all. We could essentially do that as well.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
like, yeah, Australia is really far in that sense. But hey, you know.
Yeah. Pretty much the whole, like, I don't know, if it's my ignorance, but the whole Australian country is pretty much the size of Europe.
Yeah,
or
I'm
some
sure it's
sort like
close.
that,
Yeah, trust me, dude.
Close to
Literally, we're probably the same person, just in different situations. Like, I'm guaranteed if we swapped, you'd be doing the same things. Because I'm such a noob when
Yeah,
it comes to
definitely.
geography and history, and like it's all like new. So like I'm ignorant as it gets, and I'm you know what I mean?
Ignorant travelers, bro.
traveling. I'm just like, yeah, I went to Portugal not knowing what to expect. I'm like, what the hell? This is cool. And yeah, but it's
Did you find a Nando's?
yeah. You know what? No, I was.
I think no one knows about it there.
I bit
It's like, what the fuck's
I
a
bit my
Nando's?
tongue because like I looked around at first. I'm like, there's no Nando's. I wanted to ask like, is Nando's a thing here? But I figured like this is gonna be way too ignorant. They might like kick me out of the country or something. It's like, oh, take this Nando's stuff out of here, kind of thing. Get out. But I did have peri peri chicken. I'm telling you now.
So it is a thing, yeah.
Oh, dude, the food is amazing. Like, it's like almost Asian-y. Oh, I wouldn't say Asian-y. The only thing is the rice. I don't know. Maybe it's my taste buds just because the London food's not the best. I don't know if that's the reason. Like, I'm finally getting good food again because I'm not a big fan of food here in England. But every dish I had, I was like, oh my god, so good. I had the peri chicken. I had like these pork chops with rice and chips. It's always with rice and chips. They go ham with the legit peri peri sauce. It's good, man.
Yeah. Did you try KFC there?
They don't have KFC unless I just didn't see it. But, you know, it wasn't common enough for me to bump into it. So, no, I had Macca's on the airport and it was just normal.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I think Macca's is worldwide.
think-
Still
I
tastes
think-
the same
yeah,
for some
Macca's
reason.
Similar, pretty much same, yeah. Like at a cheeseburger. I did have these little custard pies.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell, I keep forgetting names of things. And it was like the most amazing dessert I've ever had. I can't even explain it, but it was one of those things my flatmates were like, you got to check this out. And I'm like, okay, just tell me. Like, just give me a list of things because I'm that ignorant. I forget things and I'm going to miss this whole experience because I'm pretty stupid at traveling. But yeah, these custard pies, bro. I went back. Like, I went the first day. I went back again. And the line was so big. I ended up buying like 10 of them. And I couldn't finish it. It's like stupid. I was like, it's too much. Excess. You know, you just go excess with everything when you know you have limited time. So, yeah. Good times.
Traveling man.
Well, second time round, think I'm getting better. I think I'm getting the gist of it. Like, taking more chances. Like, things that used to give me anxiety. Like, just booking, like, a shuttle bus or a train to the airport. Like, things that you should probably do, just takes a bit more research. That stuff used to freak me out. Because, like, when you're foreign... You know when you just don't know, you're unknown to things. You go for the easier option, even if it costs a bit more. I don't know. That's just me. Like, I'm like, oh, nah, I don't want to like mess this up. Like, what if I miss my plane? So I'll get an Uber and come 4 hours before my plane arrives. But not anymore. I'm getting a bit more laid back with things. So it was cool. It was great to just even step away from doing the more touristy stuff. I was just roaming through the neighborhoods and just, I don't know, all that stuff. Cultural crud. Crap's not a swear word, right? I can say crap.
Yeah,
Crappity,
it's not as bad.
crappity,
You
crap,
can say
crap,
crud.
crap.
Not correct.
Yeah.
But it's funny how like technology, without technology, you can't really do all these things like Google Maps, and without that, you're gonna be completely.
I would not be able to travel.
Holding maps and
maybe
stuff.
I think that's maybe why when I was younger, traveling I didn't really like traveling. Like it didn't appeal to me. One, it didn't appeal to me. I'm like, I got everything I need. Australia, it's got everything I like and need here. We only started, like you and me, like a lot of us actually in the groups only started doing traveling a couple of years ago. Like, you know, Malaysia, Asia, America, from Australia. But like, if we didn't have the technology we did have then to now, like relying on maps and all that, I don't know, man. Like I'd stress out. I'd be like, nah, I'm good.
And now there's Uber, and then there's
so easy. Yeah, you can just. It's really easy to do, and I think maybe that's why it is such a travel boom. Like I don't know if travel was that popular back when we were younger. You know, there was a few, like I remember a few mates that were like, what do you call them? Nomads. Like that was their thing. Like they just. One of my cousins, she did mad travel when she was younger, and she's got it out of her system. I'm like, man, respect that you did it at a time when there wasn't Google Maps and Uber and all this stuff. You know, it's crazy.
And you're telling me that you were using Google Translate as well, which is interesting because like talking to something to completely translate what you're saying in another. That's the future.
That's the future. Like we're living the future, Rav. It's the freaking future.
It's like we don't need to learn other languages. We just use Google Translate. That's fascinating, man. I never thought of using that.
It did mess up.
I thought when you mentioned it.
Yeah.
I thought when you mentioned it, it turns into text, but it actually speaks it out.
It speaks it. The only problem is when my internet connection dropped out. It's like getting blocked in real life. It's like, hey, block. It was like, oh no. So we can't communicate. What was that?
Like even like everything, the whole podcast thing is everything that is internet related. There's nothing in the world that's not related to the internet.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Like literally, no. So you're spot on. Like, they say, what is it? Where did I read this? But basically, Facebook's gonna be the conglomerate. It's gonna own everything. Like it'll actually own things one day, because it's going through the whole checklist of information sourcing and gathering. Like your whole profile will eventually. I wouldn't be surprised if Facebook will be your formal point of ID one day.
Identification.
Yeah. I'm not even kidding you. Like that'll be your real life profile. And remember, we talked about this like ages ago. I was still in Sydney when we were talking about all that future stuff because we were talking about Black Mirror heaps. One day it's just gonna be one little chip or something that has everything. It has access to.
It's gonna be a Facebook logo on your on your wrist, and
something
they scan
crazy.
it.
Yeah, the only way to be off the grid is if you remove this mandatory chip from your hand or something. But I reckon that's the way we're going. This one chip that opens our cars, opens our entry to work, identifies us, gets us on the plane, and literally it's just filters. Like, yep, you can't get on this plane because you don't have the visa, which is on your wrist. You know, things like that. I reckon that's the way it's going. And it's not going to take long. How old is the internet? The internet isn't even that old when you actually think about it. No. We've been alive. We're older than the internet. And look at the pace that it's like growing. Technology. It's crazy, right? Man.
Yeah, man. It's going to come to a point that we're going to be forced to actually put information in our Facebook because it's going to be legalized into a point that it's going to be like the government is going to look into it.
And the thing is, we're doing it now freely. We're just doing it. Yeah, that's why you have a lot of these conspiracy theorists and like, you know, the paranoid people that don't have a Facebook account. You know, that stuff. I was one of those for a bit.
Yeah, like completely off the grid. Like, imagine not having internet. Just turn off your data, your internet for a whole week and see how that takes you.
Yeah, you're just not like in it. You're a caveman. That'll be the modern day caveman. No internet. You know what I mean? You know.
Yeah, man. Especially us, because I rely on it on just to get to places in my work, and our podcasts, and just little things, and even just researching things. Everything's on the phone, which is the source of the internet. It's just, I'm just crazy, like thinking how crazy it is. Like back then, I can understand why my parents like back in the day we were using the actual maps and
Never
or
got
like
to do
we
that.
were talking about
No,
before,
never
how
got to do it. Yeah.
yeah, like
Remember
the early
big
stages
road
of maps,
the
like
big
we had
road
the
maps. You'd have one in your truck, in your car somewhere, and they'd bring out the map. I'm lost. Like I remember my dad used to like pull over and just read it. Gives him like 5-10 seconds. He'll know. He's like, all right, closes the map, drives. I'm like, man, that's skill. That's like some vintage skill. Like you read a map, I know where to go now. I'm like, oh, I wouldn't be able to
reading
do that.
coordinates.
Save my life.
I remember. I've read it before when I was really young. My parents would tell me to look for a location, and then I just look for it.
In
You
the
look
grid,
for it in the
yeah.
index, and it gives you
the grid.
coordinates and the page number,
Yeah.
and then
Not anymore. Not
crazy,
anymore.
man.
That's it.
even yellow pages, like the phone books and stuff.
No need.
I remember the time when that was being used. Now, every time we usually get like nowadays we get every probably once a year, and it just stays outside in the rain.
It's a dead format. That stuff's gonna be obsolete soon. Yeah, no, that's it. You know, what's a good thing? Look, I always talk about Gary V, but like I'm not gonna dwell too much on just Gary V himself. It's just a point he raises that it's getting to a point like, you know, a lot of viral things are coming out, but they're also saying like, you know how like, for example, you buy a TV or you buy a computer program or whatnot. Pretend something messes up, or you get a phone and you can't figure out a setting on your phone. What's the first thing you do? Do you actually get the instruction booklet and read it and try and find it, which page? Or do you just go on YouTube and be like, how do you do this? And guarantee there'll be like 5 different tutorial videos, either an official one from the company or like some other guys that break it down for you that have come across it. That's what you do, right?
Definitely YouTube, man.
YouTube, Google, for those that want to read. Probably a podcast.
Mostly YouTube, because I can't be
visual.
reading.
Like, I'd rather see it, see someone do it with like a guide. Basically, what Gary Vee and a lot of people are saying, and like everyone's saying, it's gonna be a really viable sense of like income for people. Like, if you have a proper skill, it doesn't matter how silly it is. It could be just like something ridiculous, you know. Like, I can't even think. I'm having a mind blank. Like if you're like a commentator of sports, or like, here's a good example: the guy that reviews Gotham. You know, I've been following Gotham, and I really love that show. I literally, every time I watch Gotham, I go to this guy's channel just to see his take, because I respect his skill. It's just Gotham, right? You think it's silly, but he's got a really good opinion every time, and I respect it so much. I've actually subscribed to him and watch his videos related to this, and he's racking up views. That stuff, anything can be monetized. Well, that's the way the future's going, right? Because they're still figuring this out, how to properly monetize. That's why like people get frustrated now. You know, you go viral, you make your millions or whatever, $100,000. It's not going to be that big fluctuation. It's just a balancing act now, how to monetize and regulate it in a way. And it's going to make it sort of even out the playing field. But at the same time, it's going to create viable sources of income for everyone and anyone, no matter what kind of niche or expertise you have. It's just, are you smart enough to really, people might want to know about this. I could, like what we're doing now with the Cheatcoders kind of thing, it could be something quite viable in the near future, not even like later down the track. Near future. And I'm not kidding you, this kid, like, he's from London too. And he's the one that promoted the DC exhibition. And you can see the perks already happening, like, because he posted something, the actual exhibition retweeted his tweet and thanked him for coming. You can sort of see how the dots all connect, like how just like something small can just over your reach kind of thing. It's crazy, man. Like, everyone has something. You know, people that always say, oh, I'm not skilled, I don't have a talent for this. You'd be a pretty boring person if you have no interest in anything, because there's always something. Like, it could be lame to you, but guaranteed there's like, in the grand, how the internet connects the world, there's a couple 100,000 people that are into the same thing as you, and because it's bringing everyone together, they're gonna find it if you're smart enough, kind of thing. And there you go, that's your market, kind of thing. Went on a tangent, sorry. I love this shit, that's why. Damn, I broke my seal. I said SHIT. Anyway, I went pretty long. I know you were about to. I was like, I was gonna like let it go, but I'm like, nah. All right.
No, you gotta call yourself.
All right,
out,
I gotta punch myself. Boom.
Stick to our, just this is our new way of podcasting. No swearing.
Sorry.
But I love the
continue.
point.
Continue.
It's like with this point, it's kind of like a job is created every single hour. Like this is gonna be a job for you to do because of the internet, because it reaches out to different things and creates different opportunities rather than what would happen if we didn't have the internet, because of the connection it has around the world. So podcasting that was created from the internet.
Yeah,
vlogging was created from the internet. And
I think you're right, dude. You sort of predicted podcast. I truly believe now, I think that's definitely the next one. I see its appeal so much, especially for me. Like a lot of time, even for us, for me to re-listen to our podcast, I don't even bother with the video ones anymore. It goes straight onto my Apple podcast. Like, sorry to sound, what's the word? When you like your own stuff.
Yeah, sound up yourself.
Sorry to sound like I'm a bit up myself. But yeah, I listen to my own podcast. I actually find it entertaining to listen to myself and Raph talking to each other. And plus, it's great. It's so
everyone's always interested, with the whole podcast thing. I don't want to backtrack on what we always talk about, but people are always interested in other people's opinions. Of course. Like you with your Gotham reviewer, you're always interested to see his opinion, and it's just gone to a point that everyone wants to look on a podcast site and just figure out whose opinion is worth listening to constantly, and just subscribe or go on YouTube and find people that you want to listen to or watch.
And to be successful, it just comes to being really genuinely good. Like if you're good at something, no matter what. Like there was a great example in the book that I read. Like for example, like keynote speakers, right? If you put maybe this guy, I'm just gonna make up this story. A guy has to talk about something for work. Maybe he's like a finance dude. And maybe he doesn't really like it, but he's got to do it. Like we've all been in that situation. We've all done it because of school. We go to school, we have to talk about, I don't know, history, like for history class. As much as we try to extrovert ourselves and be excited about it, try and engage the audience, what would be the difference if, for example, I started talking about Eminem in front of an audience? I would be putting out this genuine, oh man, Slim Shady LP, you'd see the defining difference, yeah? Like for yourself, if you start talking about Avengers as opposed to, I don't know, what's something that you don't really like, but you
calculus or something.
Like I don't even know why you'd be talking about calculus, but for some reason in another universe timeline, if Raph had to talk about calculus, he'd probably try to make it exciting. But this guy talk about Avengers, he wouldn't stop. We'd have to stop. It was like, Raph, that's all the time we had. Thanks for speaking. And you'd be like, nah, I ain't done yet. See Thanos, and then it just keeps going.
And imagine a room with the same mind frame of people who are interested in the same thing.
Absolutely.
And they constantly just bounce off ideas and everything. And it's just
that's exactly
the energy would be just endless.
And that's why I love watching this dude. Like as opposed to I'll watch maybe an interview or a reviewer. Today I'm reviewing Gotham because maybe they just concentrate on a number of different things. Maybe he's not the biggest Gotham fan, but he has to just report on it. As opposed to a guy that he looks like he lives and breathes Gotham. And I'm like, yeah, man, you Gotham that-ish. You going in on Gotham. So I like to watch him more. Yeah, I watch him more. I'm like, dude, he knows what he's talking about. He really puts deep thought into his opinions. And most of the time he's right. It's great.
That's an interesting point. Yeah, if there's a movie critic.
Yeah.
You got to understand that he probably has a certain taste in movies. He'll always be
biased to that. Yeah. He'll be biased to that.
He'll try to be as unbiased as possible. But at the same time, humanity will always take over, and he's gonna have a certain taste in music.
That's
movies.
It, yeah.
And critics, and then would you rather hear one critic, a specific, say, a music critic,
and that's all he talk
about all different genres of music, or would you rather hear a hip hop critic
that knows what he's saying,
criticizing, and
hip hop
albums and stuff, rather than someone who's as a whole is a music person who
all around music,
does rock, hip hop, pop, and there's reviews
you know what
for
it
that.
is? The internet is making it very hard to hide these things because it comes out. It becomes very. You can tell what's authentic or not anymore. You can tell what's authentic or not these days. Like you could literally get 2 articles if you read. Like sometimes I'll read articles, and from the get go, I can tell if I know, like Eminem article. I can tell if someone is reviewing it and they don't really know Eminem as compared to a real Eminem geek. Like he's referencing things that only I know, like not the average listener would, kind of thing. That's the defining point, you know? And I reckon that's what's great about the internet. It's really niching things in that sense, that it's making little markets for, you could, before the perspective of success looked like how your mass followers, like you got the mass following of everyone, when really you could have that same impact if you just directly target your market. It might be lesser, but if you get the whole pool, guaranteed any topic you bring up, phone cases, you'll have a freaking market of people that really religiously look up phone cases to get the best phone case. There's a couple 100,000 out there, and the internet's making it easier for you to, like, I'm the guru of phone cases. There's probably a guru of phone cases somewhere. You know what I mean?
It's probably a site, just phone cases, like a whole hobbyist type of.
He knows what to look for. Yeah, he knows.
Yeah.
Maybe he makes videos and tests them and drops them, and he knows which ones work price wise, where to get. Like, there's just something for everything now, and it's crazy, man. You gotta go get yours. You gotta just find what you're good at, and just experiment, have fun with it. At the end of the day, what do you got to lose? You know what I mean? I'm being like a Gary Vee again, so I'm gonna stop right there.
What do you got to lose? The internet has opened your world to a whole new level. But on the flip side, then it's open up, and then you're gonna get a lot of people who don't understand what you're doing.
Well, that's the thing, yeah.
And understand certain
a lot
topics.
Of people
so there's always a flip side to the positive.
Thing is, you got to get on the boat. Like, you can only like promote or preach. I don't like that word, but you can only say so much. And like, waves will come and go and stuff. And it's a matter of like this isn't new. Like, if anything, we're coming into it now, but this was happening years ago. We could have been doing this a year ago. It's only like now with podcasts, or I think this is a thing, but it's not like it's a new thing. You know what I mean? It's been out for a while, and the people that are killing it now in the podcast game, they were doing it before when people didn't understand it. And now people are starting to. You know what I mean? Yeah. It just keeps going. And thing is, there's always going to be something new. And the best way to do it is just have a go. Like, embrace it. And have fun with it. Yada, yada.
Have fun with it. Always have fun with it.
Exactly.
But yeah. Have you seen the new Childish Gambino video?
Oh, good segue, mate. I forgot about that. Good. Yeah. Like, I told you we should talk about this when I was on the plane. Dude, I've been repeating that song. That's... when I like a song, it's on repeat. Like, there's nothing else I listen to. I've been listening to that for 3 days straight. It's so good, man. Like I was talking about juxtapositions, yeah? Like, how we're talking about mafia movies, like how, like, if there's this happy music, but then there's crazy killing going on. It's sort of that mix. Like, it's just so happy, and then bang, the trap beat drops, and it's just, whoa, kind of thing. I can't explain it. It's a very disturbing video. Amazing, though.
It's very, very polarizing, the way it starts.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Even when it's the first time you're hearing the song, it has to be the first time you're hearing the song and seeing the video, or even just see the video.
The video accompanies it. The song, it's a cool tune. There's so much more depth to it when you add the video. You're like, oh my goodness, it's crazy.
Which is I reckon that video is a masterpiece.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
It's a video where you, every time you watch it, you pick up new things, and then it gives you a new meaning, new twist to it, or adds to the narrative that you built from the first viewing. And then this 10th viewing, you're kind of like an expert. It's like watching a movie.
Watching a Godfather movie
or something. This and that.
Because first time...
And then you watch it the second time around, and then you're like, oh, okay, now I understand what the story is. Let me try and look around what's going on. Because it's like 2 stories going on in the video. There's the front story, which is the dancing and like Childish Gambino doing his thing.
And then stuff going
in
in
the background's like chaos.
You know what? this is a popular. I think
well.
you can respect this being a video dude, but it's how it's edited is designed that way. So when you watch it the first time, you're meant to be distracted, and that's how they sort of make it as a metaphor. Like, I don't know. This is my take on it. Like roughly, like I know that I probably got multiple takes, but Gambino is basically him and the school kids dancing. It's kind of how like in media, like just distracting, just dance, ignore all the bad stuff happening in the world, and it's just happy, whatever. And but the first time, I didn't see any of that background, like the police, the riots, and all that stuff. And then like it took me like reading an article, because after the video I was like, I gotta read an article on this, and I'm like, oh crap, I watched it again. I'm like, I'm trying not to focus on the dancing, but it's so distracting because the dancing is hypnotic. It's like, oh, this is cool. But then I like, nah, ignore the dancing. I'm starting to look at what's happening in the back. I'm like, holy smoke, there's layers to this. It took like 5 times watching it until I really started seeing like the symbolism, the things actually happening in it, and what it represented, or what the video stood for. I'm like, and when you say masterpiece, I don't doubt that at all. It's like, it's an amazing video.
Yeah, like the structure of the song as well as the video, it kind of resembles how media is. Like at the beginning, we're going to call it probably the peaceful world type of atmosphere, where everything's all peaceful and it's very joyful. And I don't know, in the video, he shoots someone in the head, and you're like, oh, what the hell's going on? The mood changes.
It's crazy.
And as probably like 3 bars in, he starts doing the dancing, and then the kids come in. It's kind of like how media is like, oh, something bad happened. Okay, let's do some distraction. Let's put some distraction in.
How quickly people get over events, like that choir singing, bang, all dead. Then out of nowhere, it's just sort of, all right, let's get over it. It's done. Continue to keep it going.
Just put some more dancing. You know, put some innocence of school kids in, just to distract people and be, feel a different way rather than what just
Did
happened.
you pick up the part?
It takes you
where every time you shoot someone with a gun and the machine gun, the gun gets like a red cloth, gets taken away with extra care, while the body is just sort of just dragged later. Like the priority is with the weapon. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm like, man.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so cool. I was gonna play the song right now. Anyway, no, it's cool. It's on my phone.
It's a good gym song as well. I was like at the gym. I was like, all right, I'm gonna listen to the song over and over again. And then when it came to the chaos parts, I just go in with my reps and then stop at the peaceful parts. So like, it works.
I can imagine you do.
It works.
Hey, we'll talk about it.
But it's so good. Like the other things that you pick up is, it's just what I also picked up is the people when they pan up to see the kids taking videos of what's going on.
The shooting,
on the camera phones and stuff.
Phoning.
Yeah. I
remember that.
And then I know there's gonna be like a lot more symbolism that's got to do with black culture. They're using trendy dances to distract us and everything, and it's just constant, like you just keep. There's a
lot. Yeah, I reckon there's still a lot more in that probably haven't really deciphered and picked up, because every time I watch it, it's like a Frank Ocean song, but visually there's just different things, like it can be interpreted in different ways as well, especially because I've read a lot of different reviews now, and so many people have different takes. Once again, that's a great thing about the internet. You're getting these different expertise takes on what they think it is, and at the end, you're just left with your opinion, like, well, I'm gonna stick with this is what I think it is. Great video, man. Great song. I remember there was so much hype. I didn't watch it straight away, so I only watched it like a couple days ago. It's like, it's definitely up there. Is that from a new album or something? Is that coming out?
I think, maybe. We don't know. We don't know what's going on. He just dropped a new song. It's crazy. And then everyone's like, oh, he's rapping again. Yeah. And then he's just doing his thing. I've read also that he's dressed the way he's dressed just to symbolize like humanity and like give himself more vulnerability, because he's just pretty much half naked. And it shows him as a vulnerable person. So everyone can relate. Kind of like how, like if something bad happens, the media distracts us by throwing in something relatable and joyful, just to distract us from what's really going on.
That's crazy. That's so good, man. He's got so much charisma as well. Like, I really pay attention to him. Like, he's just on point the entire video, from his moves, facial expressions. I'm just trying to think, like, this is the geek aspect of me. I'm like, I wonder how many takes he took. I wonder what the other takes look like. Like, if he did, or if it was just one take, let's do this, and it came out naturally that good. I'm like, man. Because, like,
Yeah.
it's basically split in... Was it split in two? Split in two one-take things. Like, one camera just going around amongst the chaos and following him.
I think two or
I think it was
three.
two, because first one,
when they did
then the choir. I can't remember. I think that was it. And then the end.
and then the end
running.
part. Yeah, so the three one
Something like
takes.
that.
Yeah, the running part.
It's cool, eh? It's just really cool.
What-
I got so much respect for that, because that's
Visually-
hard to do.
visually
It's hard
great,
to do
man.
that one-take crap. You know, we tried doing that kind of
Yeah,
stuff with
definitely.
the boys, and just never turned out well. Still. Bedrock, you know, Baby. I think we did a few ones that had one-take scenes and just looked messy.
Yeah, but you know, if we stick by it, you know, we'll get better.
Practice makes perfect.
But like that, it got me thinking. Like, what other music videos have you like? What are your favorite music videos
segue.
in the past? It doesn't have to be political or a masterpiece. It's just something that just sticks out on your mind. Just because, I want to get to a point. Does the video make the music, or does the music make the video? Sometimes it's one way, and sometimes it's the other. It just depends on different people's taste.
You're right,
I just
yeah.
want to get your position on past videos, and we'll see what made it the video that it is. You know. So, is there any music videos that pop up into
Just
your
when you
head?
say this now, I like it's like my life flashed before my eyes type thing. Just of like 90s music videos. Just an observation for me. Like, of course, like the song's great, but when the videos come out, like this is nostalgic. You'd wait for video hits or rage to see. But have you watched an old music video lately? You see them now and then, but I think I did this a couple of weeks back. Like, really watch it, not just glimpse it, because obviously when you like walk in the street, maybe you see a Will Smith video or a Eminem video from back in the day. When you properly watch it, music videos have come a long way. Back then, those videos are really low budget, man. Like, I can't believe they had massive budgets, probably epic cameras to take these videos, and they look like something straight out of karaoke, as compared to what's being shot now. Videos now are like cinematic, almost, like quality. You can say the same for TV shows. Yeah. TV shows back then, something transitioned to make them almost, well, pretty much like a cinema experience. These old videos, I'd say like Will Smith, definitely like the Eminem, all Eminem videos, the really pop ones that just out there kind of thing, quick cut scenes, colorful. Those stand out for me. I love those, but when I watch them now, I'm just like, wow, we could have done this kind of thing. It's crazy, like it's crazy how far it's come, kind of thing. Those are the only ones I can think of right now that stand out. Like Britney Spears, "Hit Me Baby One More Time." That video was the bomb, man. I was like, bam, bam, bam.
All of that is like, it's coming to a point like they're just pretty much iconic.
Iconic, yeah.
Because of the pop
Iconic
stage
of that. You
that
can't do it
just
now.
reached.
It looks silly, but I think, to be honest, music videos back then were more important. Like, you needed the video, as opposed to this day and age. Because like when a song it just releases, usually you hear the song, you'll watch the video after. While back then, the release was the video, I think, most of the time. Like, you'll have radio play, TV play, and those were the avenues that were important. I'll tell you now, a lot of the songs that I hear sometimes, I won't get around to the video for a while. Like a proper pop song, like something that's... Like, I haven't even seen the... What is it? God's Plan video in its entirety. Like, I've seen glimpses, because obviously, like... people will post things and then you'll see him giving money, like, but I haven't seen properly. Like, it's not that epic for me, as opposed to like, yeah, I remember Will Smith's videos from start to finish, kind of thing. That's observation.
It's because do you reckon we're just too spoiled?
I think so.
Over time and in the internet,
I
where
think so.
we could just click a
Everything's so
button
quick.
and then choose a video.
Like, whenever you hear a song,
Yeah.
right? Like, bang, the album's on your phone immediately. You don't have that excitement. Like, for me, back then, the excitement is the album drops, I go to HMV, I buy it, or I, close pre-internet days, download it. Still takes a while because you got to download it. Now it's just like, oh, it dropped. Here we go. Like Royce the 5'9's album, bang, it's on my phone. I listened to it. I walked out of work the other day. I'm like, oh, it's here. I was excited. I'll tell you that. I was on the street like, oh my goodness, here it is, and I'm playing it. It's just a different form. Like, I haven't seen one video from it.
Like back then, it was like music videos were the
They
marketing.
were, yeah.
Tool
They were a necessity
to get you to buy.
You
the album.
needed the music video.
Yeah.
It wouldn't
And
be a
that's-
single without the music video. Like, it was unheard of a song being popular without a music video. Whereas this, anything can just go viral, you know. But you know what? It could go both. It could go
like
both ways. But what about Rich Chigga? He got viral off the video, and then the song caught on. So that's another observation. That's different. That's maybe, I don't know. Like, see, it's switches up. I think it's still important to have a video, but
like
it's different. It's just different times, man. I don't know.
But you can go with that one.
You
As
could.
in, like, say, Childish Gambino's last album. I don't think it had a music video.
I don't think so,
At
yeah.
all. Like, it had
You're right,
performances, but it never had a music video. So, and now he just comes out with one of the greatest music videos of all time.
That's true, eh? Well, you know what? Like, this is actually a really good point that you raise now, because I've never really thought about it in this way. If this song that Childish Gambino dropped didn't have a video, so it was just put out there and we listen, oh, it's a cool track, I don't think it would have the impact that it has now. So in this case, yeah, the video really did push. I think it just depends on the art. Some songs are just so good that it's usually just a really commercial, it's catchy and it just goes viral. Or the other way around, the video is the one that enhances it because it just, I don't know.
I don't know how he released I don't know if he released the video first before the song, but I think the importance of the impact is shown if you watch the video for the first time, and that's the first time you're hearing the music.
Dude, I was on my chair,
So,
edge
because,
of my
like-
chair, like watching. I was like, holy moly, this is so dark. I
Yeah.
love this stuff. Stuff.
Yeah, so if he actually released the music first and then released the video a week later, I don't think it'd have the same impact.
Probably not, yeah.
Because
smart like that.
yeah, it might give a different perspective, but the structure of the song, the way it's been structured, it's
Yeah, you need it.
it adds to it because like it shows the polarizing differences of peaceful to chaotic, and yeah, so
I think maybe
the
that's what he
impact
went for.
is
You know,
stronger.
you know what? I'm trying to think of his creation process for this song. Do you reckon he made the song but with the video in mind as a priority as opposed to the song? Because a lot of the video, like the lyrics, it's quite dumbed down when you think about it. But was he smart enough to think like he's using these bars, like he does a lot of cliche lines, like he's almost taking a piss out of it. And it's aligned with a lot of the dance moves, like a lot of the swag moves and all that. I'm like, was he thinking about the
Yeah.
video while doing the songs to this?
I really think he thought about the video.
I think he
first.
thought about the video first. Yeah, like he's thinking like, this is what I want to portray visually. This is the canvas I have. The canvas
message.
I have is the beat.
This is the message you want.
This is what I want to, like, I know where the highs and the lows are. This is how I want to structure it. And bang, he wrote the lyric. Like, I don't think he really cared too much of the lyrics. Like, because the lyrics aren't that...
It added to the narrative.
Exactly. I reckon it added to the narrative, but that was about it. He was going for a real visual take on this. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
All the stuff he's saying is pretty much part of the distraction.
Yeah.
Of like what he's portraying in the video, and the
on.
beat is kind of going through, telling you the story as
Yeah.
well. So it's more so of it's kind of like a piece of perspective rather than a song. You know what I mean? Like a song, you get someone's perspective through the lyrics,
Yeah.
and he's telling you the story. But it's kind of like he got a video camera, put it against the world, and shown it to the world, as in like showing the media distracting us from what's going on, the chaos and everything.
yeah.
This is just a piece of our time, what's happening now, and he's just shown
it's-
it
yeah.
and put it. Yeah,
It's anything but a masterpiece. It's so good, man. I want to play it now, man. I just want to like walk around the streets and just carry a gun. It's.
this is the United Kingdom.
I was already thinking of agreement. This is Australia. This is Australia.
It's just peaceful. This is so peaceful.
Yeah. You know how they're talking about. You know how they're talking
Don't have
about
much chaos
gun
here.
control in America, and then I'd be like, yeah, we got gun control, but control these guns, because you know, like it's all about it's all about pitting people. Like Australia, we didn't have guns, so our guns become our arms, and then like that's why we have all these messed up laws, because people like punch to kill. It's messed up. Like that's how bad it is. Like I'm not taking a piss out of that, but like I was,
like the message is not lost no matter what country you're from.
Yeah.
Like I know it's specifically America and what's going on there, but you can take it to another country, and the whole media thing distracting us is pretty much worldwide, universal type of thing.
It's crazy.
So like the message is not, that's the possibly why the video's gone as viral as it is, because of that message.
He's an interesting character, Gambino, as well. I think he's like one of those really awoken type artists. Like he's really, like he's just, I don't know.
It's like ever since he left Community, he just turned into this artist that could end up being timeless.
Have you seen
like
videos of him
from his last album?
He's a bit of a hippie, man. Like when you see like backstory, behind the scenes footage of him. Like I think he's pretty rich. He lives in like a mansion on the hills or something. But he's like his creative rooms and just what he does. He's like a bit of a Rick Rubin guy. Like he looks messy as hell. The beard. And I think he vibes. I don't know what he does. Maybe he smokes weed and then just gets carried into a place. I don't know. He's just an interesting. He's like had an awakening, and he's a real artist, man. Real art.
Is it an awakening, or is it just him just revealing who he really is?
Maybe
instead of just
that could be true.
Just holding back. Like maybe this is just what he is from the start,
get-go,
and then it's kind of like how Kanye, back to Kanye, is like how right now we're kind of seeing like the true Kanye,
the real Kanye,
all its glory, rather than back then we're like, everyone's always like, oh, he's changed so much, but maybe this is just a real person.
Just how he is.
The more progress they get, the more revealing they are as a person.
Could be, man. Or could be just evolving. We all change.
Yeah, it's either evolution or just like,
it's crazy.
Just going, it's progressive. But yeah.
Cool.
I'm burnt out already.
Yeah, me too. We talked about it, so I think I'm getting, because I'm getting sick. Like my eyes, throat, everything hurts. I knew what to eat today. Hey, what time is it there? I should probably ask you this off air. My bad.
Let me just. It's about 5 to 9.
Oh, that's not too bad. It's almost 12 here. I'm just gonna sleep the whole day, so it's all good. Cool.
All right, man. Let's cut it short, man.
You know,
let's just end it there.
Yeah, we don't have to do an hour. We don't have to do an hour every episode. I think people like begging us to like, can you just not make it too long? So it's a good time. It's 50 minutes. It's not bad.
Yeah, 50 minutes is all right. That's probably our average anyway. I don't know, but
All right. Well, there you have it.
We always give out the sample.
All right, I'm gonna outro it because I never get to outro it. Yeah, so that's another episode of the Cheatcoders, episode 35. 35.
Yeah.
You know what it is? We're trying to get to 300. So if you are listening, thank you. Thumbs up. Subscribe. The Cheatcoders on Instagram, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, and Mixcloud. And of course, YouTube if you want to see our faces. But if you don't have to, because we're on Apple Podcast.
The internet has made you, different avenues to process us.
Exactly. No, that's cool. Look, any feedback would be great. Any topics. As you can see, we're kind of just winging these now, but it'd be great to have a new boost of energy to, what can we do for you to make this show interesting? That's all. I'm not asking for things. I'm telling you. I'm telling you what it is. You want us to entertain? We're here. Let us know. Peace. No more swearing.
Peace. All right. Cool. No more swearing. It's the end of an era.
30.
Fuck shit.
All right.
All right. Sweet. Peace out. Later.
Bye.